Raise your hand if you ever feel overwhelmed by your to-do list. Right? Raise your hand if you still keep it on paper. Oh, look at that. Yes. So I'm Amber Christian, founder of Wonderly Software Solutions, and today I'm going to tell you the story of the journey of building Scena. We spent the last 2 years building our first product called Scena, and it was exactly to tackle a lot of common productivity solutions. How many of you have also tried various productivity applications, just abandoned them because it didn't work the way you thought, the way you looked at the world? So I've been in technology for 20 years, and about 2 years ago, I had one of those pivotal moments where I kind of hit the wall. I was supporting a lot of different clients. I worked in the SAP industry, and it had become too much. Between managing my meetings, my notes, my to-dos, my calendar, at a certain point you can't keep track of what's due to who and when, because it's become simply too much. And productivity is not solving it. So I went out and I looked for various solutions, and nothing worked the way I thought. And so I thought it was me. I thought there's something wrong with me because it just wasn't working. Turned out I wasn't the only person that felt this way. So this led me on a 2-year journey to build a new productivity solution that we call Scena. So the average person uses at least 5 to 7 pieces of technology to hold a meeting. It's absolutely nuts on what we have going on right now. So what are you doing? You're doing your handwritten to-do lists, maybe in an app, maybe it's on your calendar, you're text messaging yourself stuff, you're emailing yourself stuff, it's all over the place. Then we get to your calendars, and you have multiple different calendars going on. And then finally your meeting notes, they're everywhere. They're in Evernote, they're in Google Docs, they're in emails, if they were even taken, and you can't even find them again. That's the worst part. So you put in all this effort and you're like, what did I do that day? I don't know what I did with it. So it's not really working from a workflow perspective. So what we did with Scena is I wanted something that really worked more the way I thought, which was, my head is a plate of spaghetti. I don't know the rest of you. It's all integrated here and there and everywhere. And I wanted something that really integrated the workflow. And we went on this human-centered design journey to actually build Scena. So what it is it's a unified calendar. So we sit on top of Google Calendar. So you have all the information from Google. But it's also a to-do list that will integrate nicely with your calendar, as well as meeting notes. And within those meeting notes, you can actually tag follow-ups and have them go onto your list. So it's intended to be a more seamless way for you to do that last mile, the actual work, the scheduling and the actual work. So how does it work? So this is an example. On the left, you can actually see a to-do list. One of the common challenges we heard throughout the process and talking with people is, you ever notice when you write a to-do list that you have things of different sizes on that list, and so it's really hard to figure out, what should I plan for today? Because this one's going to take me 3 hours, but this one's going to take an hour. And when I do these handwritten ones, it's all the same. So one of the things we thought about and feedback we had is a whole concept of making the size of a to-do change based on the effort involved. So this was one key thing that we brought that was different. People said, well, then it makes sense, because I just start to look at my list and go, where are my available times? And it fits the way your brain thinks and starts to slot things. We also spent 2 years building a simple product. And the reason I say that, people look at this and they go, that's really simple, Amber. I said, you know what took 2 years to make it simple? No, seriously. It's really easy to make an extremely complex product. But through iteration, we tried to figure out, how do you strip out the complex to make it more approachable and friendly? And this was part of our journey as well. So we had our to-do lists, our calendar, and then our meetings. We have both what we call an instant meeting, which is a digital notebook, as well as regular planned meetings. That's going to come out the end of this month. And that's got some visual timelines that's going to fundamentally alter the way you think about and plan your meetings. So let's talk about this digital notebook a little bit. So what it is, think of it, it's like a Google Doc, and you highlight your to-dos and follow-ups, and then when you save it, it goes right back on your calendar, and your to-dos go right in your to-do list for anyone in the meeting. So it's this collaborative. So let's say you got 4 people in this meeting. You keep the notes, the to-dos, it all goes on their respective lists. Done. you can all find it again. And that was the key to really thinking about how do we actually find and interconnect with the information that we capture. It's one of the biggest challenges that we have in managing our productivity. Okay, and so I talk a lot about deliberate to done and really helping people go that last mile of scheduling. Now, more about Bella's journey. So one of the things that has made this so unique is in making a decision, 18 years into a 20-year tech career, to step away from what I was doing in enterprise software and actually build a startup. I wanted to change the conversation around software, who was brought to the table, who was included, and who provided the ideas. So this 2-year journey for Scena, we had over 150 people involved in helping us with this product. We did anything from interviews to focus feedback groups to having people actually do click-through wireframes to give us feedback on this product. One of the things I'm incredibly proud of is to say that over half of those 150 people were women. I believe we create fundamentally different solutions when everybody is part of the conversation. So, how can you help and where am I looking for feedback? One of my biggest challenges is figuring out, where do I take the story? I don't talk about it enough, and I'm so early in the journey. It's like, what do I do with this? I'm an engineer by trade, so I think about building things a lot, and not about how you go out and further into the market. I have been intentionally targeting women-owned companies because so many women have been involved in the product and the product build, and so they'll say, well, yeah, I get it. What works where my brain thinks? Well, that's because so many women were involved in that build. And so part of what I'm looking for is help in bringing it forward to organizations, groups that help me get in front of other women-owned companies as well. And then we're also looking for beta customers for when we plug this into Outlook, which will be probably early next year. So Office 365 will be coming next year. Right now it's all in the Google world. So what I like to say about Scena is welcome to the Scena community, where we help you spin your plates all in one place without losing your mind.